Now, culture and tradition can be a beautiful component of a people's way of life, and African societies are not short of various cultural practices. But on the same note, there are those practices that can be termed as retrogressive and infringe on people's rights. Among the Samburu, girls as young as 9 can be beaded by the Morans, meaning that this ritual lets the Morans engage in sexual intercourse with young girls, even when they do not intend to marry them. Woe unto the girls should they fall pregnant, as they are forced to abort in crude ways, as access to healthcare is minimal. If the pregnancies are carried to full term, then the girls are forced to abandon their babies in the bush. KTN's Carol Derry traveled to Oldonyero in Isiolo County and brings us the plight of the Samburu girls.
Our 4-hour journey to Lenguruma area in Oldonyero, Isiolo County from Nyeri was nothing short of a tedious, challenging affair, as the infrastructure is wanting and the terrain nothing to write home about. But nevertheless, we got to Lenguruma. Here, a warm welcome from the Samburu women, belting out lovely traditional melodies, but beneath the charisma is a dark cloud haunting the girl child from this community, the beading culture. What it means is that a Samburu Moran can adorn a girl with beads. Girls as young as 9 get adorned by the Morans with beads with the girl's mother's approval. But what does this beading really mean?
It's a silent practice which young girls get engaged from tender age of 9 years to 15 years by sometimes men who are older than them. And in these rituals, young girls are used like sex slave by Moran, because child beading in Samburu, it means that it's like you're married to that person, because that man can do whatever he wants to do with you. He can beat you, he can do whatever he wants to do, as long as you still engage to him.
Naini Meriwas is from the Samburu community and is now a strong campaigner against this ritual. And the irony of it all is that should the girl get impregnated by the Moran, then it spells doom for the young girls who are mostly beaded at ages 9 to around 15.
Young girls become pregnant because they don't use contraceptive to prevent pregnancy. The culture also dictates that this kid is unwanted.
Inafinyanga tumbo, hiyo mtoto ikitolewa.
And while the men are blamed for this retrogressive practice, 38-year-old Ngobai Lemantile, however, points an accusing finger at the mothers for allowing their daughters to be beaded.
Huyo mzee msichana akipata mtoto, mimi hapa najua. Enye mimi nauliza mama, kwa nini huyu ako breakers? Kwa nini wao ndio wamekubali kupatia hiyo kijana na mimi sijui?
Helen Lesoino once found 2 children abandoned in the forest on different occasions and took them in.
Kijana nimepata msitoni, ile kijana nimekuta kwa mtaka kuoa, nikachukua. Niambia usiue, wacha mimi nichukue.
A charitable move that, however, cost her marriage and subsequent shunning from her Samburu community.
Wakati nafanya hivyo, kaanza kukosana na bwana, kawachana. Nikaenda na watoto wangu wawili, nimewachana sasa na bwana. Sasa mimi naendelea kulisha tu watoto wangu, kandarasi mimi naendanga, napata unga kama ni kilo moja tunakula, unaendelea tu maisha ngumu.
We meet up with Ntanyamal at Hamanyata. Ntanyamal tells me she was beaded at age 10 but now wants the practice to stop as it causes untold misery. I'm talking to Tamanyal here, and she tells me that these beads were adorned on her when she was just 9 years old, meaning that the man who did that had a way with her whatever time he felt like. And this is a practice among the Samburu community that they are trying to stop, as it violates the rights of the girl child.
We're talking of the Vision 2030, and yet we have a community here where a majority that we met have not been to a single classroom.
According to activists, the only way out is a sound education for all the girls as well as the boys. hoping that eventually the Samburu girl child will be freed.
Organizations, particularly NGOs, and the government must come down here to provide education for the girl child, to bring teachers and other support services for the community, so that even when they take kids to school, at least they have someone to take care of them.
Wasamburu na watambue, Waturukana na wajiwe, elimu ndiyo hakika, wajiwe na kwetu mila. Mila zetu kwa hakika, yastahili kubaki nyuma. Watoto wetu hakika, wakike nao wasome.
Carol Derry for KTN in Isiolo County.